Hey everybody, Dan Warmby with Keller Williams, West Ventura County here. Hope everybody's doing great. This week I wanted to focus on something that I've been getting a lot of questions about recently, and that's what to think about when purchasing a home in a retirement community. There's a lot of good reasons to buy a home in an age-restricted community, but there are a few things to consider that make them different than purchasing a regular residential property. So here's a few tips on buying in a retirement community. First, decide on whether you want a condo or a house. They may seem interchangeable, but they're really not. In fact, you should really decide early on whether you'd be happier in a condo or a single family home. With a single family home, you have more control over your property, but there's less support. For example, if you foresee yourself traveling a lot, a condo complex might be a better option because you can just lock the door and go, knowing that the HOA is taking care of a lot of the maintenance. Second, it's probably worth it to get a good real estate attorney. Even if your real estate agent is very experienced with senior communities, it's probably worth it to have an attorney go over the rules and regulations of the community with you. For a couple hundred bucks, you can find out exactly what your responsibilities are as an owner, what kind of powers the HOA has, how the association finances are there any intricacies to the HOA handbook. One of the big things to check for with an attorney is what the minimum age of who can be on the property and when. Most of the time, at least one buyer has to be 55 years old to purchase a property in a retirement community, but a lot of times there's age restrictions on who can be on the property and when. Sometimes as long as the owner is 55 or over, you can have younger people, including children, live there. But at a few communities, you can't even have anyone under a certain age stay overnight. That can really impact how you're going to use the property if you have kids or grandkids that visit from out of town or might need to stay with you for an extended period of time at some point. Some communities have restrictions on how you can garden or what are flags or signs you can hang, or even if you can park a car in your driveway overnight. So it's a really good idea not only to read the HOA documents carefully, but to check with an attorney to make sure you're interpreting them correctly. Third, make sure to check out a few different communities. This is especially true if you're moving in from out of town. If it's possible, make sure to visit the community at different times of year to see what it's like to live there year round. What might be a great location when you saw it in the winter might have a ton of beach traffic in the summer, or a community that's fine in the summer might get noisy when school's back in session. Fourth, if you can, rent for a while. Try renting in your community if you can for a while. This can be a little tricky because a lot of senior communities have pretty restrictive rental rules, but you might be able to at least get a month-long lease. If you can't, think about getting an Airbnb in the area if you can. That way you can get to know the area and at least drive through the community you're interested in different times. This can also give you a chance to talk with people that actually live in the community and maybe check out some of the activities that the community offers. Fifth, understand the focus of the community. Retirement communities have different focuses, like a golf community with its own course, but it might not be so obvious in other cases. So it's worth checking out their website or their Facebook page. A lot of times it'll be pretty obvious if the community has gyms or tennis courts, things like that. But it might be a little harder to find out about the activities that are like happy hours or community theater, card clubs, art classes, group vacations, block parties, things like that. Well, I hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more West Ventura County real estate content. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.